What's up, church family? My name's James Davis, and I serve on our LCC student ministries team in Mandeville, Louisiana. I'm so excited to be here with you guys this week. We've actually been speaking on discipleship the past few weeks. And the first week we covered fun, second week we covered support, and this week we're covering next steps. And the thing about next steps is it's actually incredible because as we take our next steps, we get closer to God. See, the moment of salvation, our spirit is made alive in Christ. And in that moment, there's an internal war that takes place between our old nature and our new God-given nature. And the way that we would win that war is that we take next steps towards God. See, I'll never forget that I was actually 13 years old and I was in student ministry here at Velocity, which is now Limitless. And see, I was serving Jesus through daily devotion, reading my Bible, getting in the Word. I was attending church regularly, and I was actually in small groups. But there was something missing, and I couldn't actually put my finger on it. But it took my mentor, the person that was discipling me, to ask a series of questions to figure out what was missing. And through those questions, he came to find out that I actually wasn't serving. And I was like, serving, it was a new concept to me. And I know that in the Bible we learn that, Jesus came to serve and not to be served. And I stepped out in faith, and I was like, all right, well, I'll give up my time. And so I began to serve in children's ministry. And there was a new level of freedom and fulfillment that rose up in me when I took that next step towards God. And I began to serve others. And it did something new in me. And I can't really explain it. It can only be experienced. I could say that. But so I began serving, and it was incredible. So next steps for students might not look black or white. I'm going to give you a list towards the end. But there's another story. This happened a few weeks ago. I was speaking with one of our students, and this student, he loves Jesus, and he attends regularly, but his home life isn't the greatest, right? His family's not saved yet, and he's really the only light inside of that house, and he has these feelings of loneliness and just detachment from believers. And through a series of questions, I got down to it. He actually wasn't in a small group. And actually, I talked to him, and I was like, hey, man, you thought about getting in a small group? And in that moment, a light bulb went off. And he's like, that's exactly what I'm missing. And he began serving in a small group and jumped in a small group. And those life-giving relationships brought a new fulfillment and freedom in his life that he was missing. So I have a list of next steps that I want to give to you that the person that you're walking with may be able to step into these, and they would be able to experience the same freedom and fulfillment that student has experienced, and myself as well. So we have, maybe a student isn't attending church regularly. Their next step is to simply attend church regularly. Maybe it's salvation. You're getting lost in to get saved. So we have attend church regularly, salvation, water baptism. Hey, maybe it's even reading the Word regularly, getting on a routine plan. And guess what? We got something for you. We have the Bible reading plan that just launched a few weeks ago, and you can talk to your local youth pastor at your campus for more details on that. Hey, maybe it's attending a small group as a next step, or leading a small group. But whatever it is, I think as through a series of questions, you can ask your student to be able to discover what it is they need to take that step closer to God. So I thank y'all for tuning in this week. It was an honor being with y'all, and we'll be excited to see you next week. Have a good one.